The NBA is known for skills and athleticism, but one of the greatest NBA standouts is style and large living. But with the large income, some players decide to spend it on stupidly expensive things. And in this video, we'll look at some of the craziest things NBA players spend a lot of money on. But before we move on, we want you to know that we have some epic NBA stories marathons coming up soon, and we don't want you to miss it, so hit that subscribe button to be a part of the fun. With that taken care of, let's see some stupidly expensive purchases, starting from LeBron James's lifestyle. LeBron James isn't just famous for his game, his spending gets attention too. He's made smart moves, like buying into Liverpool FC and running a production company, but some of his purchases fall into the why not category. Take his mansion in Akron, Ohio, a reminder to him of where he came from. But that does not come close to all he has. In Los Angeles, where stars shine the brightest, he's got more than one place to call home. The biggest is a $36 million estate in Beverly Hills, sitting on prime land with everything you'd expect in a home that is expensive. And what's a mansion without the cars to match? LeBron has a custom Maybach 57S. Sure, it's a beautiful car, but when you already own a Porsche Turbo and an orange Jeep Wrangler, how many do you really need? But that's just the few we know about, as his garage doesn't look like a collection, it looks like a high-end dealership. But LeBron's spending isn't even close to PJ Tucker's obsession. He's not just a sneakerhead, he's on another level. He owns so many shoes, he's had to rent multiple storage spaces just to keep them. And these aren't just any sneakers, they include some of the rarest shoes out there. But for him, it's more than just owning cool kicks, it's an investment. He spends hundreds of thousands of dollars a year tracking down limited edition sneakers, some so exclusive they never even hit stores. His collection includes player-exclusive models made for NBA stars like Shawn Marion, Michael Finley, Josh Howard, and Eddie Jones. Then there are the Terror Squad sneakers, designed by Fat Joe, adding even more weight to his collection, some of which have never even been worn. His obsession with sneakers started back in college at the University of Texas when his teammate, Royal Ivy, introduced him to eBay, and that's where he started hunting down rare sneakers, fighting through bidding wars to land his favorites. Once he got a taste for it, he never stopped. In 2020, he teamed up with eBay to show off his sneaker loft, packed with 700 to 1,000 pairs. At this point, he's not just collecting shoes, he's running a sneaker museum. Speaking of building a museum, Wilt Chamberlain went over the top. When he built his mansion in Bel-Air, he didn't just put up walls and a roof, he made it a place as unique as he was. He named it after Ursa Major, tying it to his nickname, the Big Dipper. But it wasn't just any house, it was built for his towering 7'1" frame and his love for the extravagant. With everything on another level, a massive open layout, furniture made to fit him, a 14-foot-long bed, and a retractable ceiling in the master bedroom so he could fall asleep under the stars. He also had a full basketball court, an indoor pool, and a room packed with his trophies. Chamberlain didn't do anything small, and his home showed it. But these are not even the crazily expensive things he put in his house. Chamberlain had a 2,200-pound front door that rotated instead of swinging open put in the mansion. Because, regular doors weren't good enough. He also spent $750,000 on a custom Le Mans-style car called Searcher 1, a race car. For a basketball player, this wasn't just spending money, this was straight out of a movie. Fast forward to today, and Morant is making his own mark with his purchases. His place in Eads, Tennessee isn't just where he lives, it's built around everything he loves. A full indoor basketball court, a top-tier recording studio, and a backyard pool that lights up at night. It's all designed to fit his style. Even the small things, like a game room set up just for him and a huge closet packed with his sneakers, show how much he cares about making the space his own. Aside from custom cars and a mansion built exactly how he wanted, he's also throwing money into ultra-rare NFTs, digital art that only exists online. Sounds like the perfect buy for someone with too much money and no clue what to do with it. To be fair, Morant also gives back, helping improve his hometown. But let's be real, his NFT collection probably costs more than some neighborhoods. Then there's Chris Paul, who took his love for bowling to a new level. He didn't just buy a bowling alley, he bought a professional bowling team, LAX, a team in the PBA League. But he's not just there for the title, he's hands-on, using his influence to push the sport forward and bring in more fans. Bowling has always been a part of his life. As a kid, he spent hours at the lanes with his family, and that passion never faded. Now he's doing more than just playing. He's working to grow the sport by supporting the PBA or giving young bowlers more chances to succeed. But he's not just watching from the sidelines. Paul also competes in professional and celebrity bowling events, showing the same sharp focus and drive that make him a force in the NBA. He's conquered basketball, and now he wants to master bowling. It's like a chef buying a racehorse. It doesn't make sense, but hey, if you can, why not? Dwight Howard's spending, though, is straight out of the 1980s. His love for the show Knight Rider led him to commission a custom-built car modeled after Kit, the AI-powered ride from the series. Instead of settling for a basic tribute, he went all in and turned a Pontiac Trans Am into a working replica of the famous talking car. This wasn't just a paint job. His car came with high-tech features to match the original. The front has the same red scanner light that moves just like it did on the show. Inside, the dashboard has touchscreens, voice commands, and even an AI system that talks just like Kit. Howard worked with car experts to make sure it wasn't just for display. The car actually runs, blending 80s nostalgia with today's technology. For him, it's more than just a car. It's about reliving that childhood excitement of watching Knight Rider and wanting to ride in Kit. But let's be real, this is the kind of stuff you do when you don't know what to do with money. It's definitely cool, but how often does he actually use all that stuff? Imagine pulling up at a red light and hearing Dwight Howard's car talking. When everyone was buying a regular mansion, Dwayne Wade decided to take a different route. He went for something completely different. He bought a former church and turned it into his home. Repurposing old buildings isn't new, but a basketball star turning a place of worship into a mansion, that sounds like the setup for a weird movie. From the outside, you'd never think it was a house. The tall arched windows, detailed stonework, and original bell tower are all still there, giving it that classic, almost gothic look. But inside, it's a whole new world. Wade brought in top designers to reshape the space. The huge sanctuary, now an open living area with high ceilings, custom lights, and massive stained glass windows that fill the place with color. The kitchen has top-of-the-line appliances, the furniture is sleek, and every detail blends history with modern comfort. So why a church? Well, we know Wade and his big choices. He must have loved the craftsmanship, the story behind the building, and the challenge of making it feel like home. Plus, the sheer size gave him plenty of room for huge entertainment space, perfect for hosting. Whether it's for family get-togethers, team celebrations, or just relaxing with friends, there's space for it all. As usual, people had mixed reactions. Some called it one of the most creative celebrity home makeovers, while others couldn't get over the idea of a church becoming a lively gathering spot. Either way, Wade's church-turned-home proves one thing. On or off the court, he does things his way. But no one beats Shaquille O'Neal when it comes to hyper-specific spending. The man is 7'1" and larger than life, and so is his Superman obsession. First, there are his cars. He owns several, including motorcycles and an SUV, all covered in Superman logos, custom paint, and plates that show how much he's into it. And his jewelry included a lot of Superman pendants and diamond chains, making a part of his everyday look. Then there's his bed, shaped like the Superman logo, not just for fun, but a sign of how deep this runs. His house is the same way. Walk in and you'll see framed art, life-size statues, and all kinds of Superman collectibles, making his home a tribute to the character. Shaq took it even further with a Superman tattoo on his arm, a symbol of strength and resilience. At this point, he might as well ask DC for a role in the next movie. Then there's Steph Curry, whose hobby isn't flashy until you hear the price tag. He loves golf, but instead of just playing, he built something massive, a high-end golf simulator room inside his house. And it isn't just some basic setup. It's got a huge projection screen, swing tracking tech, and virtual versions of famous courses. No matter the weather, Curry can step inside and play at Augusta National, St. Andrews, or wherever he wants without leaving home. He's also filled the space with things that make it personal: golf collectibles, decorations, and everything needed to turn a solo session into a game with family and friends. It's where he can relax, challenge himself, and lose himself in the sport he loves. It's basically the richest possible version of Wii Sports, except the cost is the same as a house. And finally, we have Gilbert Arenas, who skipped cars and jewelry and went straight to sharks. Yep, actual sharks. He built huge tanks in his house to keep them because a regular fish tank wasn't enough. Walking into his home, you'd see black-tip reef sharks and nurse sharks gliding behind a glass wall. It was like stepping into an aquarium exhibit, but keeping sharks isn't like owning a pet fish. The tanks needed constant cleaning, steady water temperatures, and plenty of fresh food. That meant bringing in marine biologists and professional tank crews to keep everything. Honestly, how much time does he even spend watching them? The exact price of the sharks and upkeep was never shared, but similar projects can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It wasn't just about spending money. Owning sharks sounds fun until you realize you're stuck with a ridiculously expensive headache. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? And a fun fact is all these NBA players have their reasons for buying this stuff. But which of these do you think is the most unreasonable? Let us know in the comments section. And make sure not to miss our next epic NBA story by subscribing to our channel. Hit that like button and see you in our next video.